Passé Composé, we use it to talk about things in the past, things that we've already done. That's Passé Composé. But then in the exams, nobody will ask you to define Passé Composé or explain what Passé Composé is. This is how it's going to be like. So there will be instructions given. I know, knowing it in English might be difficult, but you just in the instruction, look for this word. Look for this. Conjugate. GC. 1. Then look for Passé Composé. You see it in the instructions. You want to see this. It means they are telling you that conjugate the verb in the Passé Composé form. Do you get it? So in the end, there's not going to be anything. They will just give you instructions for you to see that you're going to conjugate it in the Passé Composé form. Even if they don't give you the instruction, your options, you will see that they want you to change it in the Passé Composé. So in your options, maybe you see manger, something like this. Something like this. Do you get it? So we'll talk about it. We'll get started to talk about it. So now let's just assume that they'll give you instructions. And in the instructions, just this conjugate the Passé Composé. The moment you see this, it means conjugate it in the Passé Composé. When we mention Passé Composé, it's simple. We are going to use just two verbs, two helping verbs. And the helping verbs are helping. At this point, I'm sure most of us know help to be or avoir. These are the helping verbs that you are going to use for Passé Composé. So it's either you choose être, 1, or avoir. You see, I didn't say and, or. So there is no way you use être and then avoir at the same time. And there are conditions. You can't just choose like, okay, so me, I feel like using être, so let me go for the être. Or no, the avoir, it looks nice. You can't do it that way. As I said earlier, that French is all about following instructions. Do you get it? So you are not to choose whether you use être or avoir. But you have to know that for Passé Composé, you are going to use two verbs, either être or avoir. So when you choose one of them, then you add your participe passé. Participe passé. In English, is the past participle. The very difficult thing here is the participe passé. Once you know your participe passé, you are good to go. So I'm saying it again. For Passé Composé, we are going to make use of two verbs, either être or avoir. Once you choose one of the two verbs, you add your participe passé. So now we are going to talk about when to use être. We are going to start with être because once you know the verbs that use être, you use those verbs for être. Apart from those verbs, any verb that you see in French, you use avoir. And so that's why I want us to take those verbs. They are few. They are fewer than the avoir verbs, the verbs that use avoir. So we talk about the être. So when you see that this verb is not part of the verbs that use être, which means go for avoir. Else if you start from this, you get so many verbs. So you are just going to take the verbs that use être. When you take them out, any verb that you see in French use avoir to conjugate it in there. Are we okay? Are we getting confused? Is anybody confused? If you are confused, just tell me. Okay. So for everything, I will tell you this again. French, be ready to memorize things. Yes. Other subjects you memorize, so be ready to memorize things that you see. Picture them. So for everything, there are 14 verbs. Somebody will tell you there are 16 verbs. They are the same. 16 because there is one verb that has synonyms. The synonyms are 2. And so that's why I don't know saying 16. But we have 14. I also say 16. Okay. So for the 14 verbs, you can just say doctor, Doctor, Mrs. So Doctor, Mrs. Van der I'm sure at this point most of us know this initial. Doctor, Mrs. Van der. When you count them, you get 50. That's what I'm saying. Somebody can tell you have 40 verbs that use F. Somebody can tell you have 15. Somebody can tell you have 60. You don't have to argue. And all of them, they have reasons for saying that. Over here, we have one particular verb having a synonym. That's why we have 15. That same verb has another synonym. So the synonyms are 2. When I include that synonym, that's why we get 16. Do you get it? So somebody can tell you have 40, you have 15, you have 16. Just picture this one. Okay. Once you know this, you are good to go. Okay. So for Doctor Mrs. Van der Tram, can say Van der Tram. But when you say Van der Tram, you might change the ER to A. Then it's going to, you are going to get it wrong. That's why we are saying Van der. At least you know that there's A somewhere. Do you get it? Okay. So the first one we have deveni. We have rester. Mourir, retourner. So in that verb I'm talking about that it has synonyms. That's it, retourner. We have sortir, venir, aller, naître. When we finish, we change it into English. Then we have descendre, entrer. Then we have revenir, tomber, okay, arriver, monter, partir, or passer. So I think I need to tell you how to say it if the person separates this one. Okay, so for the second R, rentrer. So rentrer, revenir, retourner. They all mean the same thing. Rentrer. So 1, 2, and 3 years. They all mean to return or to come back. Retourner, rentrer, revenir. They mean the same thing. Retourner, revenir, rentrer. They mean the same thing, to come back or to return. So when you take devenir means to become. If you want to write it, you can write it. To become, devenir. You will need this verb somewhere, so you take note of it. Devenir, to come. Rester, to stay. Mourir, to die. Retourner, to return or to come back. Sortir, to leave. Venir, to come. Aller, am I going fast? Am I going fast? Okay, so aller, to go. Then naître, to be born. Descendre, to descend. That one is obvious. Entrer, to enter. Then revenir, to come back. Tomber, to fall. Rentrer, to come back. Or to come back or to return. Then arriver, to arrive. These some of them are obvious, but in French, I'm not sure they'll ask you to change it into English. They'll ask you what's the meaning of venir. But if you know it, it will help you improve your English. Because once you know, when I say venir, it means to come. So let's say there's a statement. You know that I've seen this way. I know they are talking about somebody coming or something. That's why I'm explaining it, so I'm changing it into English. Not for you to know that they will ask that this and just the English, you will ask that. But it will help you to work on your vocabulary. Okay, so tomber, as I said, to fall, run, to return or to come back. Arriver, to arrive. Monter, to watch, then party, to pass, then pass, to pass by. Yeah, so monter, to go back. To go back. So how many of us know this thing okay? Or half of it? Okay, everything. You are late. You take it, try it. One thing that you must know about Ethel, this verb, it agrees in gender and number. Ethel agrees in gender and number. So Ethel agrees in gender and number. What does it mean? It means the moment you see that this verb is in a statement, it means consider the subject of the sentence or the statement. When you see Ethel in any sentence, it should agree in gender. Check the subject. If the subject is singular, you do something about the verb. If the subject is plural, you do something about it. If it's feminine, you do something. If it's masculine, you do something about it. That's what we mean by Ethel verb agrees in gender and number. It's a verb and it needs to be. Please have you. We are going to solve examples, we are going to do so many things. So once you know the verbs, I'll ask you, maybe there will be a sentence, and I'll ask you this verb, is it part of the every verbs or verbs like use avoir? Please do get it. Okay, so if we know this, we can hear it. But you have to give it in your name. In the sentence, they won't tell you that, oh, this particular verb is this. They won't tell you. So you have to do that. This one uses everything, which means I have to take the present tense of everything. Present tense, so present tense of everything. We have our subjects, J, and these are the subjects. It's faith and friend. These are the subjects. So we have J, to, L or L or on. Then we have me, we have you, L or L, the plural. These are our subjects. So for Ethel, we say Je suis, I am. Ethel means to be, right? So I am, you are, and the rest. So Je suis. Then tu es. This es, take note of it. For avoir, you see avoir is and do you know how I was able to know the difference? You see, Ethel is starting with E. It means the ES is for Ethel. But when you see AS, that is for avoir A. So for two is two because avoir is starting A. So that one goes to the AS. Then the ES will be for Ethel. E. That's how we learn French. You can't memorize everything. So once you, because it is confusing a bit. I didn't know if this one is the A or that one was the. So this is what I use, and it's helping now. Okay. So I am, you are, he or she or one is. Then nous sommes. Vous êtes. Then L or L sont. Between English or you are fine. So I am, you are, he, she, one is, we are, you are in the formal context. The next one is the informal context. Then they are. If you know this, you can conjugate verbs in the passive composé form. This is the present tense of everything. Once you have this, you just add your participle Passé. So for Passé Composé, you need your subjects, être or avoir, and we are starting with être. So the être, don't go and write the être or whatever, être, no. Conjugate the être in the present tense. So we have je suis, tu es, always will be a subject. So the subject will determine how you're going to say the two, whether you're going to say soon, son, or son. It depends on the subject that will be given. So if the subject is a singular subject, it means, so sometimes you might not use CJ, or for that one you see CJ. When you see J in the sentence, go for C. That is, if the verb is part of those 14 verbs, and you are asked to change it to Passé Composé, check your subjects. If you see that it's part of the verb is part of the 14 verbs, go for L3. Check your subjects again. If it's a singular subject, singular, it can either be singular masculine, singular feminine, or masculine singular, feminine singular. If it's masculine singular, feminine singular, but then it can be masculine plural, son, feminine plural, son. So always check your subjects. For everything, check your subjects. But avoir, don't check your subjects. Avoir, don't check your subjects. I can tell you this. Avoir, don't check. Don't really concentrate on the subjects. But for everything, concentrate on the subjects. Okay. So now that you know this participle passé, there is a good news. For participle passé for ER and IR verbs, very simple. So let's start with the ER verbs. Okay, so we are starting with participle passé because if you know the participle passé and you know how to conjugate the verb être, you're almost done. So let's look out for the participle passé. For ER verbs, and you know ER verbs are also known as first group verb. This time, if you know, no one cares. Nobody will ask you. ER verbs are also called. Nobody will ask you. So ER verbs or first group verbs. Let's take manger. Manger. To eat, right? So for ER verbs, take away your ER. So take away ER. Then you add E accent. You are done. That's for the ER verbs. Take away your ER and add E accent. This are good. Okay. When you have this, as I said, go and check the subjects, then write down. Passé Composé, I'm saying it again. You just need your subjects, then either être or avoir. If the verb is part of the 14 verbs, go for être. Conjugate être in the present tense. Once you are done, take the participle formation of passé. 14 verbs. Let's do all to learn how they are conjugated. That one I can't do. You just have to learn how they are conjugated. And one thing that you have to know is that the 14 verbs, they agree in gender and number. The venue, we've already seen the 14 verbs. But you want us to try and pass on them. So we have sortie, IR, take away the IR, you maintain, or you add I. Some of them will follow that trend. As I said, Mori will change to more, M-O-R-T. Okay, let's try. So veni means to come, right? Veni to come. So j'ai, tu, il or elle, nous, vous, then il or elle the plural form. Because veni is part of the être verb, or the verbs that use être, we are going to use these verbs. Eu, nous sommes, vous êtes, et nous sommes. Do you get it? Veni, as I said, memorize it. But I think apart from we, the IR verbs, take away the IR and add I. Yeah, I think that one too, it will make sense. Apart from we, the IR verbs in the 14 verbs, you can take away the IR, then you add just I. Please, are you okay? Okay. So we have the C, take away the IR, venue, and so venue, change to venue, but there is sortie. take away the IR and add I as I said. So apart from the ER verbs, the rest is try to memorize them. Apart from the ER. But when you see ER here in the 14 verbs, you can take away the ER and add ER something. When you finish, check your subjects because hetero is at least in gender and number. Okay, so you see venue. And the J is feminine. E. The T is feminine. E. L venue, but L venue. When you use some venue, if it's plural, just add this. But then feminine plural will become. If this one includes that venue, so if it's feminine, you just add E. Then this, if it's feminine, you just masculine, just add S. If it's feminine, then you have to add E before you add the S. That's all. So we have Passé, Andre, Mouvi, Descendo, Monte. Let me ask this question. Do you want us to solve or do you want us to conjugate some of the verbs, the 14 verbs, or you are okay? Okay, so that is very easy. Please have you seen it? This is how we conjugate venue. Take away the IR, then you replace the IR by you or you add you. That's what venue. As I said, this one I can't tell you that to the same. So you as usual your subjects. Say subject. Then the appropriate verbs. So hetero in the present tense. Then some, visits, then some. The sounding. So practice makes perfect. Keep on practicing, become familiar with it. The hetero especially. So the sound, this whole thing will change to become Ju. So we have the sound Ju. The Sanju. You just write the Sanju. All of them the Sanju. The Sanju. Now, if the subject is feminine, that's when you add E. You add E. L will just take the Sanju. But when you are taking L, then the Sanju, you add E to the Sanju. Do you get it? Then you some, you add S, but if it's feminine plural, you add E before your S. So you have something like this. This and it doesn't make sense, but that is it. This and you. Then we said this and you, E, that's if it's feminine. Plural, the plural will be like this, 4. These are you okay? Yes. Okay. So you some this and you, vous êtes. Okay, so the visits you can add S or ES. So the last three, it's either you add S or you add ES. The last three, either you add S or you add ES. You add S if it's masculine, you add ES if it's feminine. Do you get it? Okay, so that's all. Then, that's the last one. Have party to leave. Nobody asks you, but you know it's fine. So j'ai tu L, nous, vous, L or L again. Party, as I said, it takes like the sortie. So we take away the IR. Let's add I. So j'ai parti. Oh, sorry. Je suis. So maybe you can even do it before you take the participacy. Nous sommes, vous êtes, then this one will be some, right? When you finish, take away the IR, add I. Or you can just take away the R. It's the same thing. So je suis parti, just write the party, all of them. Now when you have this, so you see this is your participle passé. When you have this, you come and check the subjects before you add either E or ES, or you just add S, or you just add ES. You get it? So the three parts, you can be feminine, if it's feminine, you add E. Two, if it's feminine, you add E. The L, no E. But then if you're talking about L, then you add E. New song, you see that you just add S right away, or you add E for your S. The same thing. So I said the last word. Once you get this one, use it for the last word. The other two. You get it. Okay, so that's what we have. And one thing, apart from these 14 verbs, we have something called reflexive verbs. It's not difficult. So for reflexive verb, how will you know this is a reflexive verb? You see this word, see, or S apostrophe. So we have say, say something. It means it's reflexive. And over to see say something or S apostrophe a verb plus a verb, it means the verb should use through. Are you okay? So I'm saying this for the last time. For through verbs, or for you to know that whether the verb is going to use through or avoir. Check or ask yourself if the verb is part of the 14 verbs. If it's not part, and let's say you see a say. So you see the shade. Did you see the shade as part of the 14 verbs? No. But when you see shade, you're going to use through. Okay, the verb through. Why? Because say the shade is a reflexive verb. So for reflexive verbs plus the 14 verbs, we use through. We use through. 14 verbs plus the reflexive verb. How would I know this is a reflexive verb? When you see say or S apostrophe. Sometimes they won't bring any say or S apostrophe. Something like to marry. So we marry oneself. So the two of them, we marry ourselves. Did you get it? So that one, I don't know what to do about it, but mostly at our level, I think they will bring the say and the S apostrophe. So the moment you see say or S apostrophe as part of a verb, it means you are going to use the verb through. Are you confused? Through 14 verbs or reflexive verbs. And I said at our standard or at our level, they are going to indicate say or S apostrophe. You need to know that this is a reflexive verb. Are you okay? Okay, so that's all about the verbs that you said. Now, take away the 14 verbs that we mentioned earlier. Dr. Mrs. Van der Tramp. Take away those verbs. Take away the reflexive verbs. Any verb that is in French, these are what? Are you okay? That's why we didn't start from avoir. If we had started, we didn't know the verbs that would be for this one, the verbs that we use for, that would be for avoir. That's why we have done this. So take away all the ones that we've spoken about, the 14 or 16 or 17. Take away those verbs. The rest is avoir. Yes, J, tu, elle or elle, sorry, nous, vous, and elle or elle is the plural form. But in French, two vowels can't mix. Because of that, this will change to apostrophe. So ordinarily it should be J. How do you say J? Do you get it? So this thing, the E will change to apostrophe. So we have J. And Doc said you can say J or J. Nobody cares about the pronunciation here. Just know that it's J apostrophe and AI. Then two are L, nous, nous avons, vous avez,
the third one.
The third one.
The L or A.
L or L on.
Yeah, that one.
L or L A.
It's supposed to be.
L or L R. Okay. So the L is for energy. So I have, you have, he or she has, we have, you have, then they have. Okay. So if you know this, the same format for the S, your conjugated form of avoir, then your participe, passive. ER verbs over here. Again, take away the ER. This one is fake. Take away the ER, add ER something. So take away the ER. Take ER away. Add ER something. So this is what I mean. We have J. I won't clean the subject again. So J, tu, L or L, nu, vu, L or L in the plural form. Okay. So J, I said it's supposed to be J, right? But because we are two vowels, take away the E, we have J, T, R, L or L, R, nu, I say nous avons. Vous avez, then on. If you have this, it's an ER verb. So now we have our subject, you have our verb. We are left with the participle passé. So the last part of the participle passé. ER verb. So we just take the ER away. ER something. So for this one, using avoir, once you're able to get this, all of them eat it. So champagne, 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 champagne. So let me give you another trick. So in the exams, let's say in the options, we want to see that in the options there will be A, R, and the rest these verbs. So you see after this one, they agree, this thing agree, the conjugated for the participle was agreeing with the verb. Means that one is called cancel it out. Let's take an example. I don't know if we have questions. IR verb. Take away the IR, then add I. Somebody can also tell you, just take away the R. Don't you look into it. If it's an IR verb, it's either you take away IR and add I, or you just take away R and maintain the rest. Are you okay? So it depends on you. You can still take away the IR. So for IR verbs, you've done ER verbs, IR verbs. So take away R. That's why I think this is simple. Take away R. We are done. So let's take it to finish. You have your subjects. Please go to your language. Okay, so you have your subjects to finish. And I said, just take away your R. That's if the verb is an ER verb. So now we are changing to puni, to punish. And we want to conjugate this in the Passé composé form. And we already have our subjects and our avoir, present tense of avoir. We just have to take puni without the R. So we have something like this, puni, throughout. That means the avoir simple. Yeah, done. So in exams, if you ever see just puni, sometimes, even if they don't add subjects, and you see after AI puni with S, cancel it. It can't be correct. Because the moment you see that they have used avoir, they conjugated avoir in the present tense, the verb, the participle passé form of the verb shouldn't agree in gender and number. So when you see E here, S, that option is wrong. Please are you okay? Okay, so that's all. Then the last thing, if the verb is an RE verb. So let me take an example. Here's the problem. The phone. If it's an RE verb, take away the RE, leave you. All that we have mentioned so far, they are regular verbs. So that's why they follow the same trend. That if it's IR, take away IR, then add something. If it's IR, take away the IR, just make I. If it's ER, take away ER, add something. Because they are all regular verbs. We have exceptions. So those exceptions are called irregular verbs. Those verbs, you can say ER, but it won't take that format. Those are irregular verbs. So for the regular ones, they take the same format. All of them the same. These are looking. So we found them as a regular verb, just take away the RE, then add you are done. So your subject again. We conjugate throughout. You are done. And you can write simply you conjugate, that is the same thing, conjugate. So for avoir, once you get this participle passive form of the verb, it should run through, it should go that way. All of it, that's all. So you will never see the present tense of avoir. Then after that, the participle passive, you see that the other way of this. You see that I said cancel it. Just cancel it out and you are okay. So let me take for a final example. So we have nous dash les vacances. Then return. Then we dash vacation Britain. Right? And then Passé Composé, it's either you say have done that or has done that. Or so let's say you see this thing, j'ai répondu or j'ai fini, right? So you can say I have in English, I have finished or I finished, the same thing. So you see that you say I have, but the best thing is I have. Why? Because j'ai is I have, right? So I have responded. I have responded. You should have, but you also say I responded. You responded. That's the English. Nobody will ask you about the English, but at least if you know it, it's okay. So nous des vacances, something. So these are the options. We have some passé. So I'll ask whether this verb is part of the 14 or not. Then we have avant passé avant passé lundi avant so how are we going to choose it? You can see clearly that they are talking about this verb. Why? Because it's running through. So this is our verb. And the infinitive form is passé. So is passé part of the 14 verbs or it's not part of the 14 verbs? Is passé part of the 14 verbs or it's not part of the 14 verbs? Do you remember the last I said it's either party or passé? It doesn't mean it has the same meaning, no. But the P there stands for party or passé. But party is to mean, then passé is to pass by. But it's part of the 14 verbs. So once you know it's part of the 14 verbs, what should come to end? Être. So here, look for any verb that they have used être. So you see the present tense of être here in the options. It means that one way to check for the answer. You see avant, is avant an être verb. Is it the present tense of être? So avant, avoir. Avant, avoir. You see, so just looking at this, we have seen our answer. We didn't even go and check for passé. We have seen that passé is part of the 14 verbs, and because of that, we can't see avoir here. We can't see anything related to avoir. And just doing that, we have seen our answer. You get it? So nous sommes passé. So I think this one we should add S. Yes. Okay, there's ESD. So nous sommes passé. That's how we get it. Passé is part. Passé is also part. Okay, so let's take another, the last one is so we have let me see. Question dash the song start. So we have S or T B S or T again. Then C A so T D A so T. Okay, so you ask yourself, salty, is it part of the 14 verbs? Is salty part of the 14 verbs? Okay. If it's part of the 14 verbs, it means anything about avoir should be out. Does this name relate to avoir? Does it relate about avoir? Cancel it. Avoir. So now you do we have a salty. Hetero agrees in gender and number. This is our subject. We have seen everything. What does it mean? After getting the participle passive, you should add E. So there should be E somewhere. And looking at the two, which one has E at the end? Are we okay? Okay, so let's take, should we do more examples for it? So that's how we check it. You don't really have to go through stress, then you get to just eliminate. Now I'll tell you to eliminate the ones that you are sure that I can't do that. Okay, so let's take this. There are others, but it is a new dash down series program. So we have some minus avant minus avant again minus then on this one. Is manger part of the 14 verbs?
No.
So anything about anything should be out. In the options, what about anything? What do we have anything written?
Son.
So A, right? Cancel the A. Now our answer should be either B, C, or D. Do you get it? And you know that avoir doesn't agree in gender and number. Is this an agree?
Yes.
Is this an agree?
Yes.
Is this an agree?
Yes, it's agree.
Is this agree in gender?
Yes.
You have seen essay and you're talking about new. And in fact, new can't even go with on. Do you see? So even before we check whether it's agreeing or not, because it's not agreeing with on. New doesn't go with on. We don't have new on. Do you get it? So we cancel the two. Now we have either B or C. Use are one. About doesn't agree with gender. It doesn't agree. So whether it's blue or whether the subject is 1,000 people, the participle passé should remain the same. No S, no extra E. Are we okay? So between B and C, which one is not agreeing in gender and number?
B.
B or C?
B.
B or C? B or C? I'm hearing, oh, C, you look at me, I'm saying C, so, B or C? Yes, C, B or C, last one, B or C? C, C, no, now you're changing, okay, so B, I told you earlier that For the avant, once you get this one, once you get the first partition, there shouldn't be any S. Do you get it? Or if you add E accent technique, there shouldn't be an extra E, no matter the subject. Do you get it? So you can see that this is only E accent technique, which means the answer. That's all. Is it difficult? Is it difficult? So just look at that and you are going to do. That's all. Should we do more examples? We won't start. I said SK. So SK will be dash mathematics. And do we understand the subject, the sentence? Do we understand? Do you want to understand? No. But you know, they asked me a question. Yeah. So if you want to do the direct translation, then is it that you dashed my car? Is it that you repaired my car? That's a direct translation. Yes. But nobody will ask you about the translation. Are you seeing something easy?
Yeah.
So when we mentioned the 14, 15 or 16 days, did you see reparate somewhere? What does it mean? We are not going to make use of air through anyway. So anything about air through here, cancel it. So which one should be cancelled? Which one should be cancelled? Anything about air through, we are eliminating, but anything about air through, we have to cancel. So what is about air through here? Which of the options is about air through? Why? Because this, right? And vous avez. We don't have any kind of vous avez or whatever it is. Vous avez, which means B is out. So it's between C and D. Vous avez. But because the repair is not part of head, when you use avoir, it shouldn't agree in gender and number. So which of them is agreeing in gender and number?
D.
Which means the answer is C. Do you get it? This is simple. There are other examples. That's after we finish with the exceptions. The exceptions you have to memorize them. This is the last example. Who knows the English word for this? Some are new. We have Okay. So when we looked at the 14 verbs, did we see Ali? Did we see Ali? So you know why I'm saying you have to memorize the 14 verbs. Did we see Ali? Okay. So anything about avoir, you have to cancel it. Which of the options is about avoir? That you can see the present tense of avoir in. Now you know how to calculate avoir, so you know this way. Which of them? Me, what you say is what I want to do. Avoir is B. Second.
No avoir.
No avoir. C and D. No avoir. So are you sure? A is not avoir. Anything about it doesn't have anything about avoir. Okay. So it means we can't use that approach. And you know, to agrees in gender and what? Number. This is the subject. Is it feminine, masculine, feminine singular, masculine singular, feminine plural, masculine, which is which?
Feminine singular.
Feminine singular. Okay. Which of them do you think is feminine singular? Okay, so which of them has S? Okay. B. Is it only B? Why are we cancelling them? Because feminine singular. So anything about S in the plural, we are cancelling them. Now between the two. We said it's feminine singular. And so after the E and something, you have to see an extra E. From this, which one will be your answer?
D.
Why? Easy way.
Yes.
Okay, so I see the first one. All of them, they are about être, none of them is about avoir. So we can't use that approach. Marcel is singular, my sister, singular. So if you are saying it's singular, anything about S should be cancelled. That's why we cancel A and B. And now we have C and D. We said feminine singular. If it's feminine, it means it should also agree in gender and number. And we have already done away. Participe passé. Ordinarily it should be this for all. But because the subject is feminine, we have to add an extra. Are you okay? So that's how we do this. Any challenges again, any misunderstanding for avoir? Just see. We have maître, we have me, we have D. So these ones, they use avoir, right? I told you earlier that RE verbs take away RE and do what? RE. But because it's an exception, we can't do that. They have their own style. They have their own participants. So this one will become whether you like it or not, they are exception. We can't go and do what we said earlier that I will change it to you. We can't do that. So maître will become me, then me, then D. And it's avoir, which means it will agree in gender and number. So let's say in the exams, this one is it in brackets. So you can get something like j'ai fait. All of them should be. So tu as fait. All of them. Fait. Are you okay? Or maître. So you get something like j'ai mis. Tu as mis. All of them. Right. So you see just 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe there are others, but at least this 4. Friends from the beginning, so at least this 4. Know them. They are exceptions. They use avoir, but they have their own way of conjugating them in the participe passé. They have their own way. And so this is the participe passé for participe passé. Are you okay? So you can see something like j'ai mis, tu as mis, the rest. Meaning should be 2 hours. So not because I told you RE, they can bring it. You see, you can see here too. They can bring this. Because you know the RE, I said RE, take away the RE and bring you. So you can see when you see this, I remember she said, and go into this one. No, it's like they have their own way. Though they are ended with RE, but we don't use you. So memorize it. That's all. Is that okay? Okay, so that's all for Passé Composé. So before I said you show all the reflexive verbs, they use R3, which means you are going to conjugate R3 in the present tense. But before you add that conjugated form of R3, there are some things that you have to add. They are called reflexive pronouns. So may, say, may, can, say, and the rest. Can, say, no, you, say. You bring this before you add the conjugated form of R. I'm saying it again. It's a reflexive verb. How did I know it's a reflexive verb? There is say in front of it. So once I see there is say, reflexive verb. Reflexive verbs, they use R3. They go with R3. But before you conjugate it, you conjugate the R3, you have to bring this before you add the conjugated form of R3. So something like J. You know J is sweet, right? But before you say J sweet, any of this should be in the middle. So for J, it goes with me. 2 goes with T. L or L goes with C. Nu goes with nu again. Vu goes with vu again. Then L with the plural form goes with C. That's the reflexive. So once you have this, continue with your R3. So you know R3 is 2 words. A, right? L then A. Nu, so. Then vous êtes, that's what we know. Vous êtes. Then L son. I'm sure for this we know that J, suis, tu, A, L, A. So reflexive, something should be in the middle before you will bring the R3. That's why you have J. So the may goes with J. Like myself, yourself, then himself or herself, then ourselves, themselves, or themselves, then themselves again. That's in English. So for reflexive verbs, that's how you do it. So we say je me suis over here. Then we take ER. Take away ER and what? And the same format. So you see nothing has changed though. It's just the that you have introduced. Do you get it? You've not changed anything. So if you are saying Duché, you just say J, suis, Duché. Though Duché is not part of the 14 verbs. But because it's a reflexive verb, now it will act like the 14 verbs. Do you get it? Duché is not part of the 14 verbs. But because when you have say in front of the Duché, it will act like it's part of the 14 verb, but it's not part of the 14. So because of the say, you will treat it using ed because of the say. And I said reflexive verbs go with ed. So that's why we have added the ed form, present tense of ed. When we have this now, we have Duché. But if it's feminine, we have E. The same thing that we do. Duché. Yeah, Duché. Then Duché for L. Duché for L. Then nous sommes Duché S or Duché EES. The rest, the three. For the reflexive verbs, now I don't know if they'll bring them, but at least if you know it is okay. What we have done earlier, I know those ones that will come back. For reflexive, at least if you know how they are conjugated or how they are formed, it is okay. So this is how they are formed. Your subject, then you introduce the reflexive pronoun before your ed, the present tense of ed. Then your verb. If the verb is ER, go back ER, take away your ER, add E. If it's IR, take away IR, add I. And that's all that. But most of the examples that I've seen in the past questions and the rest, they don't even have this. They use the avoir, the end, what we have already done. We are so far. What I'm telling you that listen, you don't stress yourself. You get your 100, then you go. That's all. Nobody has gotten 100 before, but it's possible. Maybe 95 or 90. Okay, so I think that is all about it. Please are you okay? Okay. So So that's all about Passé Composé. But when I'm talking about tomorrow or tomorrow in the afternoon, tomorrow in the evening, it's too Proche, it's very new. So Proche, new. Is that okay? So we are going to talk about future stem. Okay. So you need your subject. Like I told you for the subject in French, know your subjects. Nobody knows you to write the subjects, but you know the subjects. It's okay. Two, seven. J, T, L, 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 endings. Over here, we're not going to use any avoir. We're not going to use any end. Just for endings. AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, next ONT. We are done. So AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT. So somebody can tell you that all these, you can just say for 15 avoir, use avoir. Present tense of avoir. If we think we don't get confused using the present tense of avoir, but if you can just memorize the endings, it's okay. So for 15 stem, you are going to add this to the verb. I'm going to add the endings to the verb. That makes 15 stem very simple. GC. So I will go or I shall go. Instead of saying I, then shall, then go, no. The shall and the go become one. By means shall go or will go. So ER, IR verbs don't do anything to the verbs. Future stem. So for ER and IR verbs, maintain the verbs, and those verbs are already in infinitive form, so maintain the verbs. Is are you okay? Should I kill the endings or is here now? Should I kill it? AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, and these are the endings. I said if the verb is ER, and ER or IR verb, maintain the verb. So let's say something like parler. This is the verb, parler. To speak or to talk. Because an ER verb, for 15 stem, maintain the verb. So all of them maintain the verb. Do you get it? Now your endings, respectively. So AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT. You are done. This is very simple. So this means I will speak, you will speak. But they go and the speaker together. He or she will speak, we will speak, you will speak, then they will speak. But it's inside, the will is inside the speak. Do you get it? So we don't write I, then will, then speak. No. I will speak. That's all. It's too simple. That's all. I said ER and IR verbs. That's what we do. Is are you confused? ER or IR verbs. Maintain the verb, add your endings, and you are done. ER verbs, IR verbs. Maintain the verb, add the endings. So the only thing that you have to know here is your endings. That's the only thing. Once you know the endings, it is them maintain the verb. If it's an ER or IR verb, maintain the verb. Add your endings respectively. You are done with F52 SEM. So because I said ER and IR verbs, let's try PE. I said ER and IR verbs. What do you do? Maintain the verb. Maintain the verb throughout. Maintain the verb throughout. Maintain the verb. That's all. Now you add your endings. AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, then ONS. You are done. I will finish, you will finish, you will finish, you will finish, you will finish, they will finish. ER and IR. Maintain, don't do anything to the verb. Just maintain the verb, then add your endings. You are done. Someone confusion. You add in verbs. Take away E. Then you maintain the rest. Take away E, then add the endings. So 1, take away E. 2, add the endings. So let's take something like conjugating. Take away E. We have conjugating. All of them conjugating. Add your endings. So AI, AS, ONS, EZ, then ONS. These are okay. That's for the third group or the RE verbs. Just take away the E at the end, then your end is the same thing. So that's what about 52 SEM. But again, French will not be that simple every day. There will be exceptions. So we have some exceptions. Some verbs that they end with ER, others end with IR, others end with RE, but you won't do this. You won't maintain them and add your endings. They have their own rules, they have their own special way. So we are going to look at it, we are going to look at those verbs. We have Passé, we have faire, avoir, être, pouvoir, vouloir. I don't know how we are going to make this. So me, I will advise you that every day put one exception in your head or two. So for 2 SEM, if it's an ER verb or IR verb, I have to maintain the verb. There are endings. I just have to add the endings respectively. I am done. If it's an RE verb, I should just take away the E, then add the endings respectively. But they said there are exceptions. Some of the verbs, though they end with RE, ER, IR, don't maintain them and add the endings. They have their own stem. So once I know those stems, then I'll add my endings. Please, are you okay? So something like fair, there are a lot. So let's find out. We have fair, we have avoir, we have être, vouloir. Fair, to do or to make. Then avoir, être, pouvoir. So let me just mention the ones that me I think will come. It can come. Okay. So I will. You can all of them. All of them. Okay, venir. Savoir. Let's look at it. So there's a special way to do this. We have fait, therefore, and we have say, we change to two, then IR, and this one will be yes, bien, then so. So if you know this, now you can add your endings. So let's say you put this one in brackets, then your subject is J. They want it in the infinitive simple. You know, you can't, though it's happy, you can't take away the E and add the endings. Here, they have their own way of doing it. So fair will be fair, right? Fair. Now you come and add your ending. So J. I said J, you add AI, right? So all of them will be fair. So we have fair. Now AI, AS, ONS, EZ, with. That's all. So when you take avoir, so this one means I will make, you will make, he or she will make or shall make throughout. So this one, IR, and I said it earlier, IR, what will you do? IR will maintain it, so we have to maintain and add, no always an exception. So you just have to know that what will change to AUR. Once you have the AUR, that is when you can add your endings now. So you take J, AUR, J goes with AI, right? So you add AI to the AUR and you get Jure. These are okay. So these are the exceptions. Those are the exceptions. Let me see. I think that's all. So as I said, next week we solve questions. It will cut across. We need a lesson. No, we can't do this. We have to learn how to conjugate again in the present tense. So between Proche, it deals with the verb aller. And when I say it deals with the verb aller, I mean the present form of aller. So this is how we're going to conjugate aller in the present tense. Don't say j'allais. It's a different thing. So je vais. Tu vas. Il ou elle va. Nous allons. Vous allez. Then il ou elle vont. So for fitting Proche, if you get this, you are done. What am I saying you are done? After you get this, add your verb. The verb that will give you add it, you are done. Don't do anything to the verb. You are done. So let's say the verb is chanter. Then you are telling to change chanter to fitting Proche. Chanter to sing. So I'm going to sing, right? Je vais just maintain the verb that they're giving you. That makes the two Proche simple. Chanter. Don't do anything to the verb. So once you see in exams that they are saying conjugate it in the two Proche, in your options, any option that does not have the verb in the infinitive form, cancel it. When you said they conjugated the verb, cancel it. That option can't be the answer. So in the option, let's say you see je or ver chantera or ver, you done something to the verb, the main verb, cancel it. It can't be the answer. It is said the verb should be in the infinitive form. Please really get it. So let's take party. What do you think party will be? So je vais what? Party. You are done. So you just know how to conjugate aller. and you're okay. Is irregular?
Yes.
Okay, so let me see if you get some examples. No, I think that's all. That's very short. So we have examples. We have it to J. One example, so J. We can do something like this. And then we leave français. Then we have A. Vers étudier. B. Va étudier. C. Vers étudier. D. Vers this can be your question. And you know that for the Proche, I said the verb should be in the infinitive form. If they've added anything to the infinitive form of the verb, cancel it. And from the options, you can see which ones have they done something to the main verb. C and G. So cancel C and G. Now it's between A and B. J goes with verb or verb. But I'm sure when you see the question, you're like, hey, look at this to generate. Just try to break the questions down, the options, try to break all of them down, analyze them, eliminate the ones that you are sure they can't be the answer, so that you get your possible answers. Continue to refine your correct, the final answer, the correct answer. Is that you okay? So for 15 Proche, that's all. Just know how to conjugate and lay the present tense. Maintain your verb rather. So we have je vais étudier, je vais chanter, maybe tu vas primer. Just maintain the verb in the infinitive form. But before you do that, conjugate and lay in the present tense. That's the new way. This time, if only 15 Proche should come, this is how it's going to be like Passé, Composé. So you try to eliminate them. The main verb shouldn't have anything. It should be in the infinitive form. You can see this one is in the infinitive form. What is A to the red? You've done something to it, cancel it. You've done something to it, cancel it. Now, je goes with what? Verb, va, je vais. You will just be getting your answers without really thinking about it. Okay, so have you realized you don't even consider the meaning of the sentence? So far, like what is done? Have you been changing? Unless maybe I just say it. But like knowing the meaning sometimes is very good. If you don't know the meaning, it doesn't really change anything. Just follow the instructions. And 70% or 80% that you get everything correct. 80%, say 100%. But at least 80. When you get 80, you are good to go. So people are complaining, they don't understand the meaning. Knowing it in English will not change anything. You can understand the sentence, but still you get the answer wrong. You will get it wrong. You know that this one is I-French. But you can still go and choose this, and it will make sense for you. You say, I'm going to study French. It will make sense for you. Do you get it? So knowing it is very good. It's okay, it's a plus. But just know the instructions, how they are going to be conjugated, and you are good to go. Please do get it. Okay, so on these notes, if there are any questions, please tell me.